Delighted to say that we're joined on the phone from the west coast of Wales by Rebecca Curtis. Good evening, Rebecca.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm fine, and thank you very much for joining us this evening. First of all, I'd just like to ask on certain horses, before we go into the people that have actually treated in, how are the stars? And I know you have a number of stars, but O'Falling's Boy, TEAFORTHREE?
TEAFORTHREE, he's just come right now, I'll be honest, he was still pretty sore. He sort of sprained his ankle in the National there. Nick thinks he did it fairly early on, the second or third fence, so we've just been sort of letting him have a really good rest over the summer. He's come back fairly good now, so it's only really this week he's back in work.
Would there be a plan for the Welsh National? Would that be the plan, or...?
Have him ready in time for that, I think.
Right, okay.
The earliest we'd have him out now would be January, February, and go straight to the National again if we can.
Right, okay. And in relation to O'Falling's Boy, who done magnificently last year, winning the RSA Chase at Cheltenham after winning the trial at Ascot, how's that one?
He's actually, we're not quite sure about him for this season. We think he's a few niggly problems from last season where we might just give him a bit more time before bringing him back this side of Christmas if he doesn't actually have the whole season off. He's had a small little bit of heat in his leg which has been scanned and there's nothing serious, but the vet has advised us just to give him a little bit more time. He obviously hasn't just got over from last season, so we're just going to monitor him now, and you know, I don't want to rush a good horse like him. If he needs more time, he might need more time, so I can't give a definite plan with him at this stage.
Okay, at Fishers Cross, who was an absolutely fantastic novice, found it more difficult last year, jumped right a few times. How's it at Fishers Cross? He's
actually the best we've ever had him. I think this season's going to be a really good one for him. I mean, it all started wrong last year, but I have to say this season, I feel he's the best we've ever had him. He seems absolutely problem-free, and we've had a really good back man doing him all summer. And obviously he's been back to JP's, he's had a really good summer's rest there. So he's come back absolutely brilliant, so we've got, you know, high hopes for him this year.
Was there any reason why the horse sort of tended to jump right at the hurdles? Was that any reason found for that, or was just a tendency to do that?
Probably a bit of both, really. I suppose it was in his head. He's always felt a little bit of pain through his back and hocks, and you know, but I think now we've got the hocks sorted, sort of it stops his back being in pain. Now the 2 and 2 go together, and like I said, we've had a really good man, Mark Windsor, working on him the end of last season and through the summer, and you know, the last couple of months as well, and he seems really, really good now, absolutely problem-free.
And a horse we've not seen since last year, I don't know how the horse is, Cloudbrook.
Cloudbrook again with him. Last year we got a small injury in Fosslas there, and again with him, we do rate him very, very highly. We're going to give him as much time as we can. So he's due to come back in, I suppose, next month, and you probably won't see him, I say, till the springtime.
There's a few, once we knew that you were going to be on tonight, a few people have mentioned certain horses. Tony Amato mentioned Holy Cross.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. We'll aim him now for a juvenile bumper for the end of this month, and then hopefully crack on with juvenile hurdles with him.
You've got, I noticed that you've got a Vintage Vinny running tomorrow and a Ludlow bumper. I presume that's still the plan, and that horse won impressively at Lingstown in Ireland, and was quite an expensive purchase. You've got plans for Vintage Vinny this season? Yeah,
I'd say eventually he'll be more of a 3-mile chaser. We're just giving him a run there and a bumper just to come on, but ideally I'd say he's more of a, you know, sort of stayer over jumps.
Okay, we've got Paul Ferguson tweeted us in as well. He writes the Cheltenham to Follow book. Is the horse called Sculpinza entered in bumpers?
Sculpinza. Yeah, he's actually due to run either Saturday or Sunday. He'll go to either Chepstow Saturday or Fosslas Sunday.
And you've got some bumpers horses that have done so well for you as well, and presumably they're going to go hurdling like for more information, and another impressive bumper winner.
Yeah, he should go, he'll be ready now end of this month. He'll go novice hurdling. He looks a really nice prospect for the season. As did Carn Ingley, he was a nice bumper horse last year, and we've high hopes for him over hurdles this year.
And there's a few hurdlers that are going chasing as well. Obviously, the progression is to go chasing. Potter's Cross, I presume, and Monkey Kingdom, who's actually entered at Chepstow this weekend.
Yeah, we'll probably run him in Chepstow there, providing the ground sort of on the easy side, which he should be. He jumps really well. He had a sort of good season last year, so hopefully he'll be a nice novice chaser.
And how many horses do you have there, Rebecca? And obviously, in terms of ownership, if anyone wants to get in touch with you in relation to ownership, how do they do that?
I suppose the easiest way is either to email me or give me a ring, I guess, or go onto the website. It's probably the best thing, rebeccacurtis.co.uk, and there's all the details on there then.
OK, fantastic. And there's a couple of hunrace horses that people have mentioned. I don't know how they know this, but Going for Broke and... I hope I pronounce this right. Huriliac. Aurelac, thank you.
Yeah, he's a nice grey horse, French-bred horse. Doing everything nicely. He'll be ready to run in the bumper now, hopefully end of this month. He's by Marteline, but he's only a 4-year-old, so we'll be patient with him and probably just run him in a couple of bumpers this season, then novice herding next year.
And is that the plan, Rebecca, with these 3, 4, 5-year-olds to sort of send them the bumper route and then hurdling and then chasing? Yeah,
I mean, most of the good ones, you know, if they win their bumpers well at 4, I'll normally keep them for the following season before they go over hurdles. I just think they're that much stronger, and a lot of the horses we buy, they'd be big sort of chaser types that normally need a bit of time. So patience seems to be the key.
OK. And finally, from me, one other question. Sandy Castle mentioned Manila Online. Is the horse going to go chasing this season or stick
to... that's what he was always going to be. Hopefully he was a better chaser. He's a big framed horse and he seems to have done well over the summer, and be straight novice chasing now with him.
And the novice chase planned in the next month or so, or...?
To be honest, there's not... When you look at the book there, the next few weeks, there's not a great deal of novice chasers about. A lot of them are handicaps, and he's sort of rated a bit higher than that now, a lot of 0 to 125. So trying to find 2.5 mile novice chasers, there's not a great deal about at the moment, so I suppose we'll just wait for something end of the month or into November.
OK, and Billy, who's on the panel, would you like to ask a quick question?
Hi, Rebecca. You're obviously geographically located quite close to Ireland. Is it tempting to look at some of the big Irish races if you have the right horses? Obviously, Mr. Mullins are going to be sending a few more over here, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously I wouldn't go over there with just anything, but I think if you've got a good horse, it's definitely worth going over there for the prize money anyway when we're so close.
OK, well, thank you very much indeed, Rebecca. Thanks very much, and I hope you have a good season, and I hope that all the horses remain sound. I know it's very difficult. And how many horses do you have, Rebecca?
I guess we've about between 55 and 60 at the moment.
OK. All right, well, fantastic. And thanks very much for joining us here. I hope you have a very good season.
No problem. Thanks very much.